Welcome everyone to episode 100 of Channeling Prime Creator here in Sedona, Arizona. I'm Susie Beiler, and it has been my greatest honor to be able to bring these free channeling videos to you. It's been quite the journey since we first started out in June of 2015. We've learned about timelines, we've learned about the Mandela effect, we've learned about sacred geometry, so many things. My vision for this episode was to make it really epic, like to get some really great, intelligent questions to ask Prime Creator. So I've put it out to my community and got a few questions back. So we're going to ask Prime Creator about several subjects today. We're going to do things a little differently than normal. I'm not with the Master Creators today. I'm not with Max today. I'm by myself. So I'm going to be asking the questions in between channeling states, and I'll be coming out of the channeling state to ask the question and going back in to get the answer. I've never done this before. This will be interesting. So thanks for being on this ride with me. I'm excited to see what answers come through. And as always, take what you hear with your discernment. Make the decision for yourself, whether it resonates, whether this is your truth. I'm simply, as I channel, I'm feeling the energy and I'm using my feeling sense to interpret the energy that Prime Creator is bringing through me. So it is not a perfect science. It's not, it's not a perfect science. But with your feeling, with your discernment, you can check into your own heart, your own soul to see what resonates. So thanks again for being with me, and let's dive in. The first question is, how can we embody unity consciousness right now? Dear ones, first is an understanding of where you are within realms, where you are within frequency and dimension. Indeed, many of your souls have come to this planet to work with the energies of unity, to integrate and balance the polarities that you find on planet Earth, to bridge the higher frequency energies from the places from which you have come with the energies of planet Earth. And so to embody unity consciousness, you are using your physical human vessel, you are using your emotional body as humans, you are using your spirit, you are using your soul, you are using the energy codes and signatures of the places from which you have come. So there is a great deal of variety, many flavors, many energy codes that go into embodiment of unity consciousness. True embodiment does not leave out the shadow. It does not only focus on the light. The greatest masters know how to integrate the shadow and the light to create an acceptance within the body. Now, the human language does not completely convey this idea of acceptance. In fact, acceptance is not the best word to use, but there is no word to describe other than unity consciousness. There is no word to describe what it means to integrate light and shadow. As we have conversed in a previous conversation in episode 101, when we speak about acceptance, it is not making things that are wrong okay, but it is learning how to work with them in a way that is harmonizing, that is transmuting. For when you integrate the shadow, you are transmuting it into light. And this is the truth of acceptance. And so when we speak of unity consciousness, indeed we are speaking of transmuting all into the light, so that within the hearts and souls and beings of each human, there is a balance. On planet Earth, you have the polarity of light and dark, of light and shadow. However you wish to word it, you have a polarity. And so to embody unity consciousness, you are transmuting and integrating all energies. Those that are pleasant, those that are not, those that are of the light, those that are of the dark, those that are positive, those that are negative. Whatever words you wish to assign to these concepts, dear ones, embodying unity consciousness is transmuting and integrating all energies within your being. And it takes great awareness and discernment of the energies with which you are working to even begin the embodiment of all energies. I thank you, dear ones. Our next question is about rainbows and how there used to be only single rainbows seen in the sky, and now there are many, many double rainbows appearing in the sky. And I would add, from my perspective, even those circular rainbows that go the whole way around, not just an arch. And so the question is, why are there so many of these sightings now as compared to what used to be seen in the sky? Dear ones, in some traditions, rainbows are a sign of hope. They are a promise of better things to come. Rainbows are also representational of all energies, the full spectrum of light, the full spectrum of energy codes and signatures. What the rainbows are representing in your skies are that idea that the full spectrum of light is now being shown to you, it is now being given to you, it is now streaming onto your planet. And the rainbows are a visual sign, a visual representation that you now have access to all flavors of light. And for those of you that resonate with the idea of rainbows being a promise of a better tomorrow, then indeed I would invite you to use them in this way. Because when you see a rainbow, it will remind you of what you are creating as you restore heaven on earth. That you are creating a better future, a better tomorrow. And even though it may not look like this now, dear ones, as the chaos amplifies, so does the change. And the rainbow light is showing you that indeed change is occurring. not only in your planet, but in your solar system, in your galaxy, in your universe. And this change is for the benefit of all. Our next question is, how much stress does it take to create a sun? Dear ones, I will answer this question from the perspective of energy. In order for a sun to emerge, and you can think about a sun as a literal sun or a metaphorical sun. In order for a sun to emerge, there is great energetic resistance. For a sun must be pure in order for its light to be sustainable. The energy codes and signatures of a sun are developed through many eons of time. And so a sun does not emerge through a big bang or a sudden conglomeration of light. A sun emerges by coming through great density in the cosmos in order for it to take its place as a beacon. A sun is refined and refined and refined again. Your sun on planet Earth has gone through deep refinement. Because to be a sun for a solar system like yours, it must be able to have the longevity to withstand the amount of density it would come up against. And your great central sun has gone through even deeper purification. I specifically use the word emerge when referring to your sun. I specifically use the word emerge when referring to how suns are created. Because it is a process whereby more and more light is layered upon the original spark of light. Now, layered is not quite the right word, but again, we are dealing with limitations of language. But it is an emerging process because the light of the sun has always existed. It is simply a matter of how the energy codes and signatures of the sun come together and arrange themselves to create a beacon of this magnitude. And so it takes time, it takes persistence, and from your understanding, it would take determination for the light codes to come together and not be deterred by shadow or density. For if you take a larger perspective view, you can see how the sun is surrounded by much darkness. Most is dark. And then there is the sun that serves to illuminate your solar system. Thinking in terms of how the sun can hold its place within your solar system. It takes great magnetism and determination to maintain its spot in space and time. Dear ones, I would invite you to never discount the power of your sun. It is not something to be feared, as you are taught in your media. It is not something that will hurt you. That is not what the sun is for. It will amplify if you put harmful things on your skin, if you do harmful things to your planet. It will amplify the harm. But the sun in and of itself offers no harm. Our next question is about organ encryption, and this is a concept I got from Brad Johnson, who channels Adronis. So thank you, Brad, for allowing me to explore this question with Prime Creator. This question is about how can organ encryption be used as protection, and how can we encrypt our organs to bring a higher experience of love and to safeguard from entity intrusion. So what Brad's been talking about is organ encryption and using that to protect ourselves from intrusive entities. And I thought this concept was really fascinating, and I'd love to hear what Prime Creator has to say about it. So let's ask Prime Creator about organ encryption as protection. First, dear ones, allow me to explain this concept of organ encryption. This is an emotional overlay, an overlay on your organs of energetic codes and signatures to bring protection, to wire your organs in such a way as to encode them to your energy rather than the frequency of intruding energies such as entities and other malevolent energies. Each being can do this for themselves, and what it requires is a simple understanding of sacred geometry and an intention to use your emotions and your powers of your heart, of your soul, to call forth the energetic codes and energy signatures of your soul and to overlay them on your organs. Now, each being has a unique soul signature, and along with that soul signature, a representation using sacred geometry. So a sacred geometrical representation of the soul signature. And with your intention, dear ones, you can call forth the sacred geometries of your soul, your energetic codes and energy signatures of your soul, and overlay them on your organs. And it is not just overlaying them on your organs, it is also an overlay of your auric field to truly protect your energy, encasing your energy field, your aura, in the sacred geometries of your soul signature. Now, there are people who can see this for you, those who have a deeper sight. But you do not need to see this with your third eye vision or physical eye vision in order to accomplish organ encryption. You can do this with your intention and by taking dedicated time to connect with your soul. As this channel speaks much about connecting with your soul and cultivating that connection, this is what you can do in order to encrypt your organs with your soul signatures. And so in this moment together, dear ones, I would invite you to take a moment and feel into your soul, setting the intention to connect with your soul, and feel your unique energy codes and energy signatures of your soul. You will know, dear ones, when you have connected with your soul, when you feel a certain degree of purity, elevation, and an ability to take a nice deep breath. For the breath is a gateway to open the connection to your soul, as is your heart. And so you can use your breath, dear ones, to slow down the mind, to access the voice of your soul that is often quieter than the voice of your mind. And as you access the energy of your soul, you can ask those codes and energy signatures to overlay your organs, to overlay your auric and energy fields. And you can cultivate this encryption as you continue to connect with the energy of your soul with the intention of encrypting your field and your organs. Dear ones, the act of cultivating the connection with your soul, by nature of this connection, you will experience higher levels of love for yourself and then for others. It is a very self-loving act to connect with your soul. And so a byproduct of this connection will automatically be more love, more honor, more appreciation for the self, and then more honor, compassion, and appreciation for others. Our last question is about good and bad and those who have passed over. This is a long question, so bear with me. If there is no good and bad, then why do people feel remorse when they cross over for mistreating someone when it was in their soul contract to give someone a lesson? Is there only remorse when someone's ego caused them to go beyond what they were contracted to do here on earth? Now, there are some assumptions in this question, but I wanted to ask it anyway because it feels like there could be a juicy answer from Prime Creator about this. So let's see what Prime Creator has to say. First, dear ones, to understand that there are several levels of understanding of good and bad, wrong and right, good and evil, light and shadow, light and dark. There is the higher level understanding of the soul, which takes everything as meaningful, everything as having its place and purpose. There is the human understanding of good and bad, good and evil, which most oftentimes brings in the energies of judgment rather than discernment. There is the grounded view of humans, of right and wrong, that brings in discernment and that sets clear boundaries about what is right for you and what is not right for you. There is the view that all is love. This is an ungrounded view, meaning not of this planet. It is a view that has come to this planet from those who have transcended polarity. And so in some regard, it is helpful to have this view that all is love, because it gives a larger perspective and allows one to expand their heart and expand their understanding. But at times, this view is harmful. For example, if a being is raped, it is not wise, nor is it helpful to tell this being that their experience is all love, because the cellular trauma that is enacted or activated with an act like this trauma is not a loving experience from the point of view of the victim. And so to answer the question why some beings feel remorse when they pass over, it is because they are being given a chance to see the repercussions of their actions. And when they see from a space stepping outside of that particular role when they were in human embodiment, when they see the harm that their actions caused, and they see how it impacted the being emotionally, spiritually, mentally, etc., they gain an understanding that their contracted role was not an easy experience for the other person. And so depending upon where they are when they have passed over, they may feel remorse. They may feel that they wish that they had not caused such harm. And this remorse is because they are able to access a broader perspective than what they were able to access as a human being. They are still connected to that lifetime. Again, depending upon where this being is after they have crossed over, they are still connected to that human lifetime, and the energies of remorse that they suppressed in their human experience are now coming to them as they are able to handle them in a different way. Dear ones, I wish to express my great joy and pleasure in being able to witness your growth, your expansion. For those of you who have taken my suggestions to do your inner work, you have created quantum fields around you of light and high frequency energy codes and signatures. And what this quantum field does is it sets templates for others to follow in your footsteps. Truly, you are leading by example. And this quantum field offers energetics to the quantum field as a whole, the quantum field of planet Earth, the quantum field of your solar system, the quantum field of your galaxy, your universe, etc. One person doing their inner work, one person making internal changes, one person healing him or herself sets into motion the shift that you are creating here on planet Earth as well as far beyond. And then, as you can imagine, dear ones, as the energies of one person combines with the energies of another, combines with the quantum field of another, combines with the energetic codes and signatures of another, each being doing their inner work, the momentum that you are creating individually and together is indeed what is creating the shift upon your planet. And so it is up to each of you, dear ones, to take responsibility for your energy. What are you radiating? What are you emanating? And to know the truth of this within yourself, dear ones, because it may be misinterpreted by outsiders looking in. It may be judged. It may be misperceived. And so your job, dear ones, is to know for yourself what you are emanating and radiating. Your job is to take responsibility for your energy, not the energy of other. And yes, many of you are transmuting and serving the collective in this way. This is still taking responsibility for your energy. And so, dear ones, what is it that you are radiating? What energetic codes and signatures are coming from your field? And this is why the conversation about connecting to your soul earlier in this conversation is so important. Because when you connect with your soul, you are connecting with the purest, highest frequency part of yourself. And the deeper the connection, the more expansive the connection, the stronger the connection, the more you will radiate the truth of who you are and the truth of what life is. Do you understand this, dear ones? The more you are connected with your soul and the stronger and more expanded this connection is, the more you are radiating truth about who you are and what life is. And this is the most powerful truth of all, dear ones. The truth of who you are and the truth of what life is. And it is all contained within your souls. And so, dear ones, as we celebrate our time together in these 100 episodes, I issue a call. I issue a call to those of you who are willing to answer it. Will you leave your lives behind? Will you leave your lives behind in following the true desires of your hearts and souls. I do not mean, dear ones, that you must leave all of your family and relationships. I do not mean that you must leave your jobs. I do not mean that you must leave your homes. What I am asking is, will you leave behind those patterns, those programs that have made up your lives until this point? Will you leave those external projections that have been beamed into your life that are false, that are not truly you? Will you leave that behind to follow your truest truth of your soul? What I am asking, dear ones, is not easy for some of you. And in truth, some of you are already doing this. And I thank you, dear ones. You know who you are. And some of you are doing this to some degree. And so for those of you who are not doing this, or who are doing this but not fully, I issue this call. Will you leave your lives behind to follow the truest truth of who you are? To listen to the desires of your heart, to listen to the desires of your soul, and to step into a fuller greatness of you. Because the desires of your hearts and souls will guide you in the correct direction for your greatest fulfillment, for your greatest expansion, for your greatest growth, for your greatest evolution on your soul journey. This is but one life of many, dear ones. One life of many that you have traveled. One life of many that you have experienced. And yet this life is unique. Not because it is unique, but because it is a culmination of all of your other lives and experiences, of all of your aspects and multi-dimensional, multifaceted realities and aspects and selves. This lifetime is the culmination of everything you have learned, all the wisdom you have garnered. And yes, all the cellular trauma that you have accumulated, that you are now healing. This lifetime is not the end for many of you. And so do not think that you will be complete after this lifetime. For many of you, the souls will continue to journey on. But this lifetime is the culmination of your planetary mission regarding Earth. And yes, some of you will come back to planet Earth in another body. Some of you will figure out how to use this body again. But I digress, dear ones, because what is most important is for you to harness all the energy of this lifetime and your future and past selves as you understand it in linearity, to harness all this energy and bring it to this now moment where you have an opportunity to shine and to radiate the truth of your soul. Will you do this for me, dear ones? Will you do this for you, dear ones? Will you do this for Gaia? Will you do this for the collective? I thank you, dear ones, for being on this journey with me, for allowing me to come into your homes, into your hearts, for allowing me to touch your soul. I thank you, dear ones. I thank you. Yay, Prime Creator! I really hope that you could feel the enthusiasm. I don't know if that's the right word, but the energy, the passion of Prime Creator through that transmission, especially that part at the end where a call was issued to step into our truth. Thank you for being with me on this journey and for joining me in episode 100. Again, it is my honor to bring these videos to you, and I will say that they are a lot of work. It takes time, it takes a lot of energy to bring these videos to you, so if you would like to honor this work that I'm bringing to you, please go to creationtemple.com/donate, and that will enable me to continue to bring these messages to you. Thank you for doing your inner work, like Prime Creator said. I really appreciate all of you who are taking these messages seriously and saying, yes, I will go deeper within myself. I will commit to radiating my truth. I will commit to shining brighter. I will commit to my soul mission this lifetime. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you.